What's up, everyone? You tune in to Rightfully Structured. Um, this is pretty random. I was sitting here thinking, and it's like I feel like it's very important to remind ourselves what we're thankful for. I went through a period, basically, I recall in the past that I got so focused on what I needed to do and what I was trying to do that it kind of not really like blindsided me, but it was like a haze on it because I always did end up finding the time at some period, but it wasn't enough. Even though I was always thankful for everything I received. That's one thing I could say. Everything. It doesn't matter, small, big, whatever. Thankful because even if it's something free, that doesn't necessarily mean that, it should have, or should I say, this stuff will always happen. So you gotta appreciate, everything. But no, I was just sitting back thinking, I'm like, man, it's very important because if you don't remind yourself of what's important in your life and what you're thankful for, then when things happen, you'll realize that maybe it's too late. At least you probably would feel like that. I strongly believe that it's never too late, but it becomes a point that you got to start understanding the the balance of things. Looking at my situation, it's a lot of things that I could sit back and say what I could have did different. But what makes me a better me is the fact that I'm able to look at these things and actually see what my issue probably was or is and formulate a plan to change it. So, you know, everything is a work in progress. Everybody's not going to be able to do things a certain way or a certain time. But the best thing to understand is that you're thankful for what you have and the people, whatever, and you just continue to move forward and better yourself, even if it's small things. I had to realize a lot of things as far as like my even to my job. I was so passionate about so many different things, relationship, whatever. But you have to kind of like balance it out because it can be blind. You can get blindsided because the way you feel and the way you're doing things doesn't necessarily mean that you you could be you could be doing the right thing, but you got to make sure that it's balanced, and that means full circle from both sides, job, whatever relationship, just have to be balanced. I actually learned that I had to stop putting myself in situations where not necessarily settling, but in a way, I guess it is because when you put yourself in a situation that you gotta evaluate things all the time, that's a sign basically that it's a lack of balance in it. But I can admit that. And that's one of the things that I could say that I appreciate as far as myself. The fact that I can sit here and actually look at things from a real perspective, not siding with myself, not actually pointing the finger, but actually see things for what it is. It's just, that's like one thing I'm truly thankful for. One thing I know, the truth hurts, but it is something to be thankful for. It's something to be thankful for real. The truth may hurt, but at that very moment, you might need to take the time to be like, okay, yeah, let me remove myself from my feelings and actually look at the situation. It's not about your feelings, it's about the situation. Now, if you're able to break down the situation to say that, okay, that's not me, then now you're talking. But you can't go off your emotions and actually, say, oh, that's not me, and create a whole nother. That just turns it. But nah, I'm truly thankful for a lot. Even the painful situations are like truly secret blessings. Are truly secret blessings. It's really all in how you look at things. I mean, stuff is gonna happen. Some things are gonna be easier to get over. Some things are gonna be harder. But the main goal is just to keep your focus and don't give up. Continue to push forward. I'm speaking actually from experience because dealing with a very serious situation right now that pretty much flipped everything suddenly, and it made me actually go into a mind state that I needed to deal with. It actually helped me. As bad as it could have made me feel some kind of way. Nah, it actually helped. I've always been the type of person, when the pain comes, it actually makes me analyze the situations. I've been like this since a kid. I actually look at the situation and I break it down to its finest point as much as I can. And at this point, I'm very good at it, but back then it was different. And I can admit that some of the things that occurred in my life recently, it was kind of my fault. The fact that when you lacking to notice things, it's good to be comfortable, basically, but you gotta know, you still gotta have some type of like guard. You still gotta have some type of guard. Just for your own safety, your own protection of your heart or whatever. You don't have to be fully guarded, but you need to have some type of guard to understand, okay, when something happens, it triggers the right warning so you don't really overlook certain things. I was distracted kind of because of some other stuff I don't want to get too deep into right now, but the fact that my trust was, I wouldn't say fully trust, but I was to the point that I trust the situation, so my focus wasn't there to be like looking for signs. I wasn't hunting stuff down. I try to be a free mind, like, sometimes you can't control things, basically. Some things are going to happen. You just got to let it happen and grow from it. I'm not going to be looking for stuff. So I admit on my part, yeah, it was my fault that certain things happened, but at the same time, it wasn't. You always have to take accountability for yourself and your own actions. Period. You have to. I don't care if it's the end of something. And put it this way, just because you're going through something and something's ending well, I mean, not ending well, you really don't have to leave the situation crazy or do something, disrespectful. You don't have to do anything outrageous. You can actually leave a situation correctly and everything can be good. When I sit back and I think about it a lot, I was actually seeing things the whole time, but it was like it was like a dream. It was like a daydream, put it like that. It was almost considered like a negative thought, how I was seeing it, because when you don't actually see something happening, then it's like, okay, nah, I'm tripping. Nah, that's not what's going on. But over time, I realized, yeah, no, I wasn't tripping. This stuff was real. So I was seeing it the whole time, but it was like it was hard to believe because the way it was playing. That's like you having thoughts in your head about something, but you're not seeing these things happening in front of you. It can be very confusing. But this is the thing. When you see things unfold later and you go back into your thoughts and you realize, okay, oh, damn, that's what I was thinking about. I actually thought about that. It came in my mind before it happened. That's why I said it's kind of my fault that I allowed certain things to occur. But out of the kindness of my heart, you know, it was bigger than me. It wasn't just, what I'm saying? I could sit here and think about what coulda, woulda, shoulda. It was bigger than me. I think it would probably be less hurt people out here if people just knew how to walk away from situations that don't suit them. If it ain't good for you, then just walk away the correct way. Respectfully tell somebody how you feel and go about your business. You don't got to be dramatic. You don't have to, you don't have to do none of that. If you really think about it, what is the purpose to carry things so crazy? You can respectfully tell somebody. I mean, what happened after that, that's on them. But when you tell somebody straight up how you feel, you was respectful about it or whatever, you straightforward about it, then that clears you. That clears your path because you did what you supposed to do. You was the honest person. You did the right thing. You didn't create the burden for the next person. And that could be willing, that could be knowingly or unknowingly. And I'm speaking from experience again. In my past, I had relationships and I could say that things ended wrong and I didn't repair it or try to, you know, do the right thing. But as you mature over time, you understand that, well, you should understand how things could have went. I kind of made it like a stepping stone. When you're going through a relationship and you want to actually learn from each relationship so that you're not repeating stuff. You know the signs of certain things you don't want to deal with. Oh, right then and there. You're not going off of how somebody look. You're not going off of, the things that would attract you to this person. Because maybe a lot of us, that's the issue. Get caught up in that illusion. And I'm speaking from my standpoint too. Get caught up in that illusion and you just basically get pulled back into a situation that, repeating a cycle. So I had to learn, okay, start noticing certain signs. Now you got to be careful because because some people are real crafty. So you think you got it under control. Oh, this seems good, that seems good. And I'm not saying going looking for issues, but just be very mindful. Because trust is not given. You got to earn it. I don't care if I just met you and you could be seem like the most honest person in the world. I will respect you. But trust is it's on a different level right there. You got to earn that. Just because what somebody else did with you or this and that or what they said, that's cool. I respect that. But trust is it's just a whole nother thing. And I think that we all should be treating it that way so we can have more trustful relationships with people. These are the type of things that I think, it's just good to talk about. So I can guarantee it ain't enough of these type of conversations going on in these households or none of that. Friendship, relationships, whatever, family. That's one thing I can actually say in almost every situation. I know when to keep my mouth closed. But at the same time, I know when I need to speak. Sometimes I might fall back and I gotta learn you. I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna see how you gonna try to play this situation. You gonna sit here, it could be something somebody did and it might came off disrespectful. I'm not gonna respond to that off the top. Sometimes people got issues that they need to work on, so you can't respond to everything. But you gotta peep the patterns, eliminate the patterns. For the ones that actually don't think about what they're thankful for enough, I challenge you to think about it at least like 3 times a day. Because the more you think about it, the more it's installed in your brain to the point that it's visible, and it's going to make you more aware of things. And it will actually, when you're aware of the right things in your mind, it paves a better vision for you to see things. I appreciate y'all listening. Hit the like, subscribe. Till next time. Peace out.